Hey everybody, Jim Malone here, coming to you live at Dallas Trading Floor. It is a Monday. Tesla is up tremendously today. Just wanted to put that out there. We're going to get to the slides here in just a second. For everybody on TikTok, I am simulcasting this on YouTube. All you have to do is go to youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor. I'm also on Facebook as well as Periscope, PSCP TV/Dallas Trading Floor, and I'm also on Twitch, twitch.tv/Dallas Trading Floor, to get all the charts and all that kind of stuff in your questions. So here we go. Let's take a look at see where we're at today. Well, the market is definitely strongly in a confirmed uptrend. The NASDAQ is up 1% already today, which is very, very, very bullish. Also, the S&P 500 is up. The Dow Jones is down slightly, but that has to do with the fact that, unfortunately, many of the stocks in the in the Dow Jones are not quite as powerful as I think they think they need to be. So it's just one of those things where some of the stocks, I think we're going to see a rotation in the in the Dow very soon, and I think there's a very high likelihood that we might see Tesla go into the Dow. Now, it would have to go into the S&P 500 first, but part of the reason I believe that they split their stock 5-for-1 is so that they could get the stock into the correct the correct value range that it could go in. It can't be if it went in at the current price, it would be too much of the Dow would be depending on Tesla because of its high valuation. But by splitting the stock and getting it down to the $300 to $500 range, it could possibly go in there. Now, is it going to replace a Boeing? I doubt it, but Boeing is so weak right now, I think you're going to see the potential of a car company going in. Remember, there has, for most of the history of the Dow Jones, almost over 100 years, 110 years, there has been a car company in there. And that was true up until June of 2009. And if you remember, in June in 2009, that is when General Motors filed for bankruptcy. So we have not had a car company in the Dow Jones since then. So 10 years we haven't had a car company in the Dow Jones. Now, Microsoft is part of the Dow Jones, as is Apple and IBM. Those are all parts of it. So we're a little bit too heavily weighted in some of those companies. So I do think that there's going to be a movement possibly to put a very large manufacturing company into the Dow, and that's part of the reason I believe that there was a split. But we're going to find out that. That's just speculation on my part. So it's not written in stone or anything. But I do believe that the 5-for-1 split, everything kind of lines up there. The Spider today, and of course this is the most widely held ETF in the world. Many people have their entire savings and entire entire retirement in the Spider. So that how the Spider does is very, very important as to the rest of the market. And it's up today, thank goodness. It's at 337.74, which is excellent. It's come a heck of a long way. It's almost up to the 340 level, and that's a very important level because, interestingly enough, that is essentially where the Spider was right before the downturn that happened in the beginning of February when it took its dive. The Spider was at its lowest level on March 23rd, and then it's moved up ever since from there. Now, of course, that's due to the tremendous amount of stimulus that's been put into the economy. It's unprecedented. But we're very, very close to having the Spider come back to exactly where it was in February. So that's very interesting that may indeed happen. So that's kind of where we are there. I also want to show you the QQQ. Now, the QQQ is up tremendously. There's a key level on the QQQ, and we're actually past it by 27 cents. 275, I believe, is a very key level on the QQQ, in that if it moves above that, it's a bullish sign, and we're probably, if it can hold 275, the Qs, I believe we're going to see a very strong market into the election, because if it drops below 275, then we might see some weakness. But it is looking like we're going to have a strong market into the election, if you can believe that. And that is based on the level of the Qs at 275. It's up $3.10 a day, which is remarkable because it's 1.17. Now, a lot of this is due to the fact that Tesla and Apple are both going to split. Apple 4-for-1 and Tesla 5-for-1. And that's going to happen on the 28th of the month. That's going to happen on the 28th of August. So you have to be a owner of record by the 21st, and it's the 17th today. So there's still time to get in on this if you want to. You basically have from now until Friday. On Friday, it's going to essentially the window is going to close on that. Now, I do predict, like in my action trade alerts, that we are going to see the high on both of these stocks the day before the split or the day of the split. And that's either going to be August 27th or 28th. And then after that, when they start retrading back on Monday, the 31st, you're going to see it basically move downward as some of the people sell off those stocks. But I think then it will move back. This is all in my action trade alerts that I have. And by the way, if you're interested, you can sign up for these action trades. Super duper easy. I haven't put one out. I didn't put one out over the weekend. I was working on the model portfolio. That's another thing that you can do by going to DallasTradingFloor.com, and you can sign up for that to see kind of how I'm trading a small portfolio, that basically a very low dollar portfolio. I did make some changes today. I sold PSF Web because it violated the 8% rule, so I sold that. I also bought Tesla on the morning. It's up. And then I also Microsoft came into the zone. I bought Microsoft as well. So I'll show you that in just a second, kind of how we're doing that. And the way you can see this in real time is by going to DallasTradingFloor.com. And then if you look at this at the screen, I'm going to improve that a little bit. On the lower left, on the lower right-hand corner, there's a little thing in red saying that you can sign up for the GEMS portfolio. Put your information in there and you'll be put right on the list. We'll send you a link so that you can see it as it happens. And so that's kind of a good thing. Now, if you're on if you're on TikTok, for people who are watching on TikTok, you can also sign up for the Action Trade Alert. It's super duper easy. All you have to do is go to my profile, hit the link, and you'll be sent directly to the sign up page. Just put your information in there. It's all free, and you'll be on the list to get the action trade alerts that I put out. And I typically put them out when I have a trade that's significant. Okay, so let me show you next basically the portfolio. Now this is going to be a little bit constrained on this screen. I'm going to see if I can go to the actual live version, but this is the version as it was a few minutes ago. It's a little bit hard to see, unfortunately, because of the way it looks out. But basically, you'll notice this is the makeup of the portfolio. The largest positions, both of these two positions, are, believe it or not, these are one share. Both of Tesla, one that I bought earlier, one I bought later, and then we have several other stocks in here. We basically have the 3 shares of Facebook, and then we have the 4 shares of Microsoft. So that's currently the makeup. We did make a sale, and as you can see, I did lose a little bit of money on that one. Don't like to do that, but anytime it violates the 8% rule, it's done, and I'm pushing it into things that are making more money. So I can show you this later, but this is available by basically going very, very easily going to DallasTradingFloor.com and signing up for this. And this is a live link so that you can actually see it as it comes through, as it comes through. So let's go to some questions. We have 6 people looking. Very good. Thank you. Hey man, yo, nice to see you. Also, taking questions from the TikTok audience as well. So hopefully I can see that. I got a new mount, so I may have to be. I may be looking up into this, into the box here a little bit as we go on. So, anyways, okay. First question is on GRWG. I don't know what that is. So let me just kind of take a look at it. GRWG. Let me just see if I can give you my opinion on this. Interesting. Okay, wow, it is look like it is moving up very, very quickly. It's in a good area. Distribution of organic nutrients, soils, and hydroponic equipment to the commercial and okay, so this is sort of a marijuana play here. It looks like this is Grow Generation. That's the name of the company. Here's the thing about this area. I will be a little bit careful in this area. Anything having to do with the the commercial marijuana industry, which this definitely is a little bit is a little bit difficult of an area because there is tremendous oversupply right now in this space. But this is a blow off top. Okay, this is definitely moving very much higher. Look at that. It's up $3.08. So something is going on here. And it looks like it is just a new IPO. Unfortunately, this is a little bit too early to buy. The reason being is that you never want to buy an IPO unless it's been seasoned for at least 3 months. But let me see if I can give you a buy point just for fun here. I wouldn't be in this one just because I typically wait until there is a buy point, and in this one currently there is not a buy point, and the reason there isn't, it has nothing to do with it directly, but it has to do with the fact that it's only been it's only been out for basically 2 months, and you don't want to wait about 3 months to get a good to get traction on an IPO. So let me see if I can come up with a good with a good comment on that. It's GRWG. So let me pull this up and see if I can give you a better chart on this. GRWG. And yeah, there we go. Okay, trying to see if there's anything there to buy. There's a lot of pressure to buy, but it doesn't. I don't know if this is a viable chart. I'm looking here. It looks like the pivot. Yeah, there is a pivot on this. Interestingly enough, the pivot on is 782. So it's extended right now. This stock is extended. Basically, this is a buyable stock up to about a little bit over $8, and it's way beyond that. So here's the thing. I would let this one run to see what happens. You might want to watch list this one, and you might want to note this down really quickly. But the buy point on this one, let me see, buy. I'll just put this in the comments. See on GRWG. All right, GRWG equals, and the buy point on this one is $7.82. 82. Okay, there we go. Oops. Put that $7.82. That's in there. Hopefully that'll hit all the chat. There we go. All right, so that is GRWG. So let's take the next question. I wouldn't buy that one. I'd watch list it. That's just my feeling on it. Okay, what's happening with Apple? Not doing right. Well, I think it's doing great. I think it's all relative. Not all stocks can be like Tesla and just go to the moon all the time. I think there is a little bit of repositioning of Apple. By the way, I'm in Apple. I don't know. That's looking like a pretty strong chart to me. I mean, let's look at the intraday on it. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. Let me see if I can show that to you. No, it's looking pretty decent. It's 460 is an excellent level for Apple. I don't see where that's doing poorly. I'm sorry, but that's a good chart. That's a good chart. Sorry to be negative on that, but yeah, let's look at the daily. Let's look. Yeah, the daily looks excellent. It's just getting ready to it's moving in line, ready to split. No, that's a good chart. It's a very, very good chart. The volume's down a little bit, definitely, but no, I think the Apple is a good chart. It's not going to be like a Tesla because it's wider held, but I think that's a pretty good chart. So it's getting ready to split. The top of Apple in terms of its price is probably going to happen on August 27th. And why? Because that's the day before it actually splits. And for everybody that is a owner of record on the 21st, and of course that's Friday. That's Friday. We'll get 4 for 1. So if you have 1 share, you'll get 4, and you might not want to hold it all the way through the split. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll sell it right before the split. They'll let it split. It typically will back off on the price. It'll move down, and then they buy back the shares however many they want. So that is a good way to go. So let's see. I've neglected the people on TikTok. I love everyone on TikTok. Can I be? Oh, you're a student? Yeah, absolutely, you can. Sure. I'm putting together this mentor thing where I'm showing kind of a portfolio that I'm trading that's small, and then we're going to have some other people. And then I'm working it out now. I'm trying to get all the kinks out of it, but yeah, absolutely you can. That's what I want. So hopefully tell your friends too. That's important to me. Any thoughts on algo trading? Well, here's the thing. I am not an algorithmic trader. I'll be right up front with you. I am a swing trader. And the reason I'm not an algorithmic trader is because I don't want to sit on my screen every day. If I'm trading against the algos, man, that's tough because I've got to be on it all the time. So what I do is I set limits. What I do is that I go into a stock, I then set the stop loss, and that's always either 7 or 8%. That's why I'm Mr. 7% there. See that? So I don't try to lose any more than 7 or 8%. I try to buy at the pivots, and if I do, I typically win on that. So I wait for the pivot to buy. And then I set my stop loss. I'm not an algorithmic trader because, quite frankly, I am not fast enough on the keyboard to beat the algos because they're just going all the time. So I don't think you can win as a day trader. You can somewhat in a short period of time, you can, but over long term, you're probably not going to win as a day trader just because they are trading all the time and you're not. And so I try not to be a day trader. I try to be a swing trader, and that's what I try to do on that as well. Okay, so next question. I only have a couple of Tesla shares. This is a great question. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you so much. Here's what you probably need to think about with Tesla, and that is you need to think about kind of what you want to do. And I'm going to hopefully show you this chart here a little bit. This is from a show that I put out on the 12th of August, the special edition for Tesla. I did a special edition show, and I want to show you this chart really quickly. It'll kind of give you an idea of sort of the choices that you have on this, and I'm going to put this up on the screen right now. So here's how I would look to possibly buy or hold on Tesla. Okay, here's how it typically will trade. And this is true for about 90% of all the stock splits, so this is why I put it in there. Basically, 1 to 5 days before the stock split on size, Tesla is going to run up. Now, we're in a run-up mode right now on Tesla. That's part of the reason I think we had such strength today as we came into the trading. So it's running up to this where it says, you see this little arrow, it says 4 here? That is basically right before it splits, either on the 27th or the day of the 28th. That's typically where it's going to get it. It's going to go to its high. Okay, then it's going to go through the split, and then in the next week or so, it is going to move through this cup, and then the other side, it will end up being somewhat below the unsplit high at number 4. So the question is, if you want the shares, just do nothing. But if you want the money, then I would sell your shares on the 27th or 28th, and then wait to see how they trade after they have split. And then as they start to move up again, which they will, that's when you buy, and then you're going to get this little bit of movement up here. So that would be the way to gain the most profit. So the question is, do you want the profit, or do you want the stock, or do you want the both? So you can also split your holdings, do half of it the way where you sell it first and then you buy it back, and the other just hold it right through. And for every share of record that you have on the 21st, you get 5 shares. So total of 5. So the dividend is a 4 stock dividend on the Tesla trade. So it's pretty cool. I definitely have a lot of Tesla. I bought some Teslas this morning in the model portfolio account, which I have. And by the way, you can always see this portfolio if you're interested And that's super duper easy. All you have to do to get the link to see that is go to DallasTradingFloor.com, put in your name, and hopefully I'm going to get all this kinks worked out on my mailing system. And if for some reason you don't receive the link relatively soon, about 24 hours or less after you put it in, send me a note. And the way you send me a note is go to Dallas Trading Floor, go to the comment section, just say, hey, I didn't receive it. I'm still working out the bugs on this, and hopefully I'll get it all ready and it will work great. But that's a way you can see the model portfolio, and just to kind of show you what that looks like, because I think that you want to see what it looks like. I'll just show you that right here. And basically this is a portfolio. Now we're going to also have our mentees, which we have Ali and Mervin. They're going to be showing their portfolios. We're not ready with that yet. That's coming. It's coming shortly. But this is my portfolio of highly rated stocks. So I'm going to just show you that, kind of what it looks like, so you can see it on the screen now. It's just filling in here in a second. This is updated automatically for all the positions. This is my current holdings. As you can see, there's one share of Tesla that I bought once, and then I bought it again because I liked it so much today. Bought it again. But I did sell my PSF Web. You can see that. And I did make a little bit of a loss. I lost $67 on that. Ouch. So I held it for 8 days. It didn't do what it wanted to, what it was good to, what it was going to go to. So I sold it today and I bought Tesla. And of course, Tesla is moving higher. So hopefully by the end here, you see it's moved up 3% today. I also bought Microsoft and Facebook. Not a lot of shares. 4 shares of Microsoft, 3 shares of Facebook. But I changed this pretty much every day. And of course, my cash position went down a tad, because I bought those other shares. Now I guess this is, I believe, correct. I have to check this, but I think this is the correct position. But anyways, you can always see how I'm trading. Super duper easy. All you have to do is go to Dallas Trading Floor and sign up, and you'll be sent a link. So that's a great way to go. And also tell your friends about it, because I like to get out there amongst other people. So let's see. Should I get into Workhorse right now? Well, if it were me, would I go into Workhorse? Probably not, because what's this? WKHS, is that it? WKHS. I believe that's the symbol for Workhorse. Yeah, Workhorse Group. Yeah, no. It's just not a Tesla. Look, it's trading down. Hey folks, it's trading down. Everybody thought it was so great, and it was. But here's why you want a stop loss. If you get into situations like this, put your stop loss in, move it up, and then when it reverses, which this one did, you get sold out at the top, which is very nice. And it went down, and then it's coming back up again. But you know what? The trend of this is not good. It's probably going to move from 15 down to 10. But we don't know. We don't know when that's going to happen. But Workhorse probably wouldn't be in this one. I know that people on the internet love it. I know that a lot of chat rooms love it. But, a lot of those people love the airlines too. And I was warning people about the airlines. And guess what? They've pretty much all gone down. As a matter of fact, Warren Buffett blew out his airlines. He also blew out his banks too. And now he's buying gold. Why? Because he doesn't want to lose any more money. Just a thing to say. All right. So I only have, okay, cool. Tempted to sell. Yes, absolutely. Here's the thing. If you want to make money, I think selling it at a 30% gate is great, because I tell you, it's going to have Tesla by the 27th is going to see its peak in the short term. Then it's going to split. And then what you do is, after it splits the next week, after starting really August 31st, you wait about 7 to 8, 9 days or thereabouts. Tesla will move down probably a little bit, and then it'll start moving back up. So a way to make money would be to sell on the 27th, take the money, wait, buy your stocks, buy your shares back, and continue to make the money. And again, that's sort of how it works. So I will show you that chart again. This is typically how a stock split trades. It moves up, and then right the day or thereabouts before it splits, it reaches its peak. And then as it splits, it will come through this cup, and the shares will be distributed. People will sell off those shares, and then on the upside, then it will start going back up again. So expect a drop off on Tesla shares on the 31st through about September 5th or 6th, or in that, and then you're going to start to see it move up. So that's a way that you could possibly trade this. And by the way, I have sent this out on Action Trade Alerts. If I've sent it out once or twice now, but I'm always willing to possibly put it out again for the people that want to see that Action Trade Alert. And you need to sign up for the Action Trade Alerts at DallasTradingFloor.com. And also, if you're on TikTok, just go to my profile and then go and click the link, and you'll be taken directly to the you'll be taken directly to the sign up page. So there you go. I have 15K and was thinking of Tesla, but I feel it's overpriced. Well, it might be overpriced, but you know what? As Maynard Keynes once famously said, in the long term, we're all dead. Yes, it is overpriced. I agree with you. But here's the thing. If you're buying it now, you should sell it on the 27th and then buy it back later. That's kind of what I've been going over. Tesla is almost at its peak in the near term, and I think that will happen on the 27th. So that's a way that you can play it. So the question is, don't ask yourself, is it undervalued or overvalued? That's irrelevant, because a stock, as opposed as any assets, is valued at where somebody is willing to buy it. So if people are willing to buy it at a high price, it's not overvalued. It's just valued at the price that people are willing to buy it. So don't ask the question overvalued, undervalued. It's really, unfortunately, meaningless. The most important question is somebody out there willing to buy at the price that I'm willing to sell? That is the question, not is it overvalued or is it undervalued. So just wanted to put that out there. I know I always ask GBTC being shilled on Fox Business. I think it is. The reason I think it is, I agree with you about GBTC. Now, for everybody out there that doesn't know what GBTC is an ETF that holds approximately 4% of the world's Bitcoins. And so it's a proxy for the Bitcoin market. So I'm going to show you that, and let's see if it is in a buy zone, and I'll give you the buy points on it if you're interested. So here we go with GBTC. This is the Greystone Bitcoin Trust, and again, it holds about 4% of all the Bitcoins. Now, it's very extended right now at this price. The buy point on it, let's see, the pivot is 1258. So let me put that out there. Put the GBTC pivot equals $12.58. So we're very extended from that. It's a little bit dangerous to buy that right now at this level. It unfortunately is a little bit. Oh, did I get that in there? Okay. Let's see, GBTC pivot equals $7 and no, I'm sorry. Is it $7? Is that right? Okay. $12.56. Excuse me. I put that in there wrong. Is $12.56. So I'm going to push that up there to the world. There we go. There's the pivot. Right now it's very extended at 1463. So it's really not buyable. I wouldn't buy this thing right now because it is not in a basing pattern, but it does have a lot of commitment. There has been a lot of buying of this. Part of the reason I think that GBTC is seeing such action is because there's a lot of people that have made mistakes in the way they've traded the banks. They're getting rid of the banks and they're trying to go into gold and they're trying to go into Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, GBTC is a proxy for the Bitcoin market. So therefore they're going into that. So there may be, I mean, in a short term, you probably can make a little bit of money because I'm showing good volume on GBTC in its trading, but it is extended from the buy point, and I put the buy point out at 1247, right? Yeah. No, is that 12? No. I put it out there. Let's see. I've got to read my comments. I'm commenting, and I don't even know what I'm commenting on. Yeah, 1256 is the buy point for GBTC, and we're extended from that. So that's my take on GBTC. Not necessarily the greatest thing. Is Walmart a buy? Well, Walmart is a definitely safety buy. You remember that well, it's probably before your time, but you remember the safety dance song? That was kind of stupid, but it kind of reminds me of that. Yeah, Walmart is, wow, look at that. Walmart has moved higher. Yeah, it's definitely in a buy zone. Whoa. It is definitely in a buy zone. Yeah, Walmart is just in a buy zone. It's a buy right now. Absolutely. Let me show you the chart. We moved into a buy zone. Yeah, we're in a buy zone at 158. The pivot is 131.99. So it's definitely in a buy zone. Walmart is definitely in a buy zone. WMT pivot is equal to 131.99. Yeah. So let me put out that. There we go. Okay, we're out there with that pivot. So it definitely is a buy. We're definitely in a buy on that one. So that's very cool. Jim, can you please teach us some basic fundamentals of stock, especially indicators? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have a little course, hopefully. I'm trying to put this all together. I would definitely like to do this. Could you possibly go to my my site, and that is DallasTradingFloor.com. Just put it in the comments that you're interested, and I'm trying to put this together on YouTube so I can show you some basics, kind of what I'm doing and kind of what these buy points are, and it's so confusing and the whole thing, and hopefully I can put it out there so that you can see it, and it's really not, believe me, once you get the fundamentals, you can really, it's not that hard. So if you could just go to the Dallas Trading Floor, even if you're signed up for the Action Trade Alerts, if you could just put it in the comment there, that helps me parse out everybody that's coming in. So I definitely am very interested in helping everybody out there to learn how to read the indicators and the charts. So it's really helped me, and hopefully I can pay it forward a little bit as well. So thank you, man. Okay, so Visa V. Visa is interesting. Let's see. I don't like Visa as much as I like PayPal in the area, but let's look at V. V is part of the. By the way, V is a Dow stock, so it's a pretty heavy hitter. It's very, 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 very well capitalized, of course. And this is V. We have a buy point, and it looks as like it's under a buy point, so it's not quite ready to buy yet. But this is a buy at 202.18. That is the pivot for Visa. Let me put that in there. V pivot. V pivot equals 202.18. Yeah, 202.18, and it's currently it is 199.54. Near pivot. All right, put that out there. Oops, it helps if I spell it right. There we go. So there, I did spell that right. But anyways, you got the you get the picture there of kind of what it is that I'm talking about on Visa. But yeah, Visa is in a very nice pattern. There's a cup with handle. That's very, very good pattern. It is right below the buy zone. The buy zone is basically 202.18 or potentially 295. You can look at that. So we are basically right below the buy point. It's currently trading at 199.54. If it breaks above the buy point with good volume, which it looks like it might. If Visa breaks above the buy point with a good volume, then it is a buy. So there you go. All right. Thanks for your test. But okay, awesome. By the way, this is a note from the famous intern who really does exist. It's Mervin, and Mervin basically is doing the stop loss thing. And here's how the stop loss works. Really simple. Is that when you go into a stock and you buy it at the pivot point, when you buy, or and the pivot point times 1.5 gives you the range to buy in. You buy it at that point. You then immediately set a stop loss of 7% below where you bought it. So let's take the example of Visa. Visa essentially has a pivot of $295, okay, $200.95. So it's right below that. So if Visa were to get to say 201, okay, in price on strong volume, you got to have that strong volume, then it would be considered in the buy zone. So let's say I was lucky enough to buy it at 200. I'm just rounding it off because it's easy for me to do the math in the head. So you would set the stop loss then for 200 times 0.93, and this gives you a 7% stop loss. If you did that, you would basically have a stop loss at $186 would be your stop loss on Visa if you bought it at 200. As the stock moves higher, you want to push that stop loss up, and then once you have gotten beyond where you bought it from, even if the stock fails and drops, you still have locked in that profit. So that's what the intern is talking about. And this is an easy way to trade. You don't have to watch the screen all day. This is a way you capture the profit as it's happening. So it's a very good way to make money automatically. By the way, how to maintain stop losses automatically. I like to be manual on the stop losses, and I'll tell you why. Because sometimes we don't want to set the stop loss at exactly 8% because because the stock has moved up. Then we want to look at the chart and we want to see where the 50-day moving average line is. We want to set it at the 50-day moving average minus about 2%. And the reason why is because the algorithms trade on this 50-day moving average line. It's the red line on my charts, and I'll show you that in just a second. And what that does is if you set the stop loss at that level, then if it's being algorithmically traded, which it is, because 90% of all the stock market volume is algorithmically traded, then you will be stopped out at just the right point where you're not going to lose against the algorithms. It's pure folly to try to trade against the algorithms because unfortunately they can be up 24/7 and they can watching it all the time. So I don't trade against the algorithms. I trade with the algorithms. And so I know that those lines, that 50-day moving average, is extremely important. That's usually where I set my stop loss minus about 2% to give it a little bit of cushion there on that. So that's kind of an interesting way to trade. And I'll go into this more in depth, probably, hopefully in future shows. But this is a good way to trade it, and you don't have to. You can trade with the algorithms as opposed to against them. Congratulations, by the way, for selling Tesla at a great profit. I think you did very well. You want it now. Take that money and wait until it's come through its split, and wait until about September 8th or 9th, and look to see if you could buy more of that Tesla stock, because I do believe it's going to come through that split. It's going to reduce it a little bit in price, and then it's going to come back. So you might want to possibly buy some after the split as well. So congratulations on selling at a profit. Isn't that feel good? Isn't that great? I think that's wonderful. I think that's wonderful. Thanks for sharing that with everybody, and I hope that everybody else, will learn, that it's not that hard to make profit in a market like this. So. That's automatic. The question automatically. Okay, so next question on Tesla. Good. Okay, but I found services that say around 1%, but it will grow to 5% by. I don't know about that. Interesting. Hey Jim, you said that they own about 4% of Bitcoin. I got it. Well, that's not bad. Yeah. I kind of supposed to say that they have around. Oh, okay. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Well, what the number that I always saw for GBC was about 4%, but I could be totally wrong on that because there's been more Bitcoin created. So GBTC might be a little bit less, but but I was always taking they control about 4% of the market. So I could be wrong on that. I don't think I'm totally wrong. I'm just partially wrong. So there may be more Bitcoin now than when I first found it. It's been around for a while, And when it first came out, they had about 4%. So they might have acquired more Bitcoin. And of course, some Bitcoin has been mined. I don't know about how much, but so that I may be a little bit wrong. It may be more on the level of 3%. So, but it does control a significant portion of. The most important thing is that they're one of the largest concentrated holdings of Bitcoin. So it is a proxy for the Bitcoin for Bitcoin in general. And the reason I like it so much, and also the reason why they like it at CNBC, is because it's much easier to trade in and out of than if you had the Bitcoins itself, because you've got to go through a Bitcoin exchange, and I don't know, it gets kind of messy. This is a good way to play Bitcoin is with GBTC. So we're going to look at Kroger, KR. KR has been doing very good as of late, because as the restaurants have been suffering, the grocery stores have been doing super duper great. And why? Because people are eating in. And here's Kroger. Let's take a look at Kroger. I'm going to look at the daily chart, and then we're going to look at the weekly chart. So here we go with Kroger. Kroger is up 63 cents today. Not bad. Composite rating of 91. That's pretty good. Let's look at the weekly chart. It looks like it's up. It's down after hours, 1 cent. Well, I don't know. The thing about Kroger is that, it's okay. I mean, Kroger is okay, but it's and if you want to park money, it's probably a great place to park it. But I just don't think I want to be in a stock. You see how it's hugging the 40-day line just almost perfectly? Well, this is going to continue to go up, but this isn't going to be a very exciting stock, I don't think. Now, Sprouts is a little bit better. That's actually higher rated. So let's take a look at the Sprouts chart to see if there's a stock that we could possibly do other than Kroger, because I think Kroger is going to be, Sprouts isn't that good either. Sprouts looks like it's like a sell, it's nearly a sell signal on Sprouts. So let's look at Sprouts. Sprouts is the number one in the group, but it's below the 40-day line. That violates a rule. I can't buy Sprouts. So I can buy Kroger, not Sprouts, but Kroger is not very exciting. So let's see if we have something else. Oh, VPivot, okay. Okay, did I put that in there? Yeah, okay. Will you revert? Okay, TFFP. Huh, okay. Let me look at TFFP. So let's see if I can give you a chart on that. TFFP. TFF Pharmaceuticals. Okay, this is not a penny stock. Interesting. Okay, let's look at the weekly chart. Huh. Okay. This is interesting. Okay, let me show you. And it looks like it has just gone through earnings. Okay, very good. Let me show you. Let me share the chart right now. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. This is an interesting one. I don't know this stock because I haven't been following it. But let's see. It says it commercializes drugs based on patented thin film freezing technology. Okay, that's interesting. And it's based in Austin. Nice. It's sort of a local one. Well, it has a semi-cup handle. That's not bad. It looks like the last pivot was... See, there was a pivot at 538. It's trading for... it's really extended. 14,606. That's interesting. Got some very high volume. It just went through earnings. You know what? I would wait on this one to see. When did it go through earnings? Okay, it must have done pretty well. Earnings date is on the 14th. That is, believe it or not, that was on Friday. So it had a very good it had very good earnings. Looks like very good earnings. Its volume is up. Wow. Okay, so this one, this might be. This is highly speculative, but it looks like they had excellent earnings. So, we might be in a situation here where this might be a buy. I'd watch list this one. Definitely. TFF Pharmaceuticals, or symbol TFFP. So it looks like it's just gone through earnings. It looks like it was pretty successful going through earnings. And I'd like to get back to you on this. This is a fairly new issue. It does meet the standard rule for 3 weeks, and it looks like it has some funding. It has some following. Usually when an IPO goes out, it doesn't have hardly any funds that are invested in it until about 3 months. But it looks as if it's got 10% of its ownership is funds, so that's actually very good. So definitely that's a good chart. I would be super duper careful. I would not, if I went into this one, and I'm not, I can't say if I'm going to go in this one. If I did go on this one, I would go in with a maximum of a half position on that. Now, what do I mean by half position? Well, if you take the value of your portfolio, you divide it by 8, it gives you 8 full positions. So I would not commit any more than a 1/16 of my total value of my portfolio to a stock like this. This is very speculative, and because it's an IPO. But that's not necessarily a reason not to buy it. But be careful when you're buying stocks that are highly risky to keep them to a very small portion of your portfolio. So half is the max that I would go on a position in this stock if I went in. I'm of mind to watch list this stock instead. Now, it has come through earnings, and it came through earnings very well, and that is a very good sign. Never buy a stock like this prior to earnings. Always wait until after the earnings to get the very good price on it. So here we go. Why are all the gold mines so bullish right now? Well, the reason the gold mining stocks, I believe, are so bullish right now, and I'm going to show you this chart of KL, which is my favorite of all the gold stocks. I am currently not in KL, but I am thinking about a half position in it. The reason they're so bullish is because there are many, many value investors who have made what I consider a tremendous error in buying value stocks. They have bought the airlines. They have bought the cruise lines. They're all getting their asses handed to them right now. Pardon my French, but they're getting killed right now. So they're selling those stocks, and they're trying to be protective. They believe that the tech stocks are too valuable, so they're not buying those. So what they're doing is that they would normally went into the banks, but those are bad too. So they're going into the golds, and some of them are going to the GBTC, which is the Bitcoin Trust. So this is the reason I believe, and this is just speculation, that the golds are so strong, because people don't know what's going to happen. They're scared. Scared equals gold. It's best not to own physical gold, by the way. It's best because and it's true. You go on the air and you listen to these programs. They say the world's coming to end. Buy these physical golds. Nobody can take it from you, but test me. That's not what you do. You want to sell gold in these periods of time, and the best people to sell them, of course, are the mines, and they do have producing a lot of gold. And gold is, believe it or not, and I know that people are going to give me hate mail for this, but gold isn't quite as valuable as you think it is. That's the thing. It's not quite as valuable as you think it is. Many of the new mining techniques have made gold extraction, just like diamonds, much easier than they used to be in the past. So gold mining stocks are good. Physical golds, not so much. So let me show you a stock that if you're interested in gold, this is the one I recommend. It's called KL, and it's Kirkland Likes Gold. I'm going to show you the chart for Kirkland, and here it is. Basically, it is in a profit-taking zone right now. I've featured this one several times in the last few months, but I was featuring it more when it was at its pivot. Its pivot was, and I didn't go into it at the time just because I went into Tesla instead. But its pivot was 44.23. It is very extended from its pivot, but it looks like it may be making a new base pattern because it's definitely in a profit-taking zone right now. But this is the one I think that you want to look at if you're interested in the gold stocks. I'm looking at the volume on this one. It's picking up in volume, so we may see a new base pattern here, a new pivot. But the prior pivot is about 44. So that's the one you want to look at. Now, there's another alternative. Warren Buffett he just sold his banks because he's losing money on them. Losing lots of money on them, and he bought into the Barrick Gold, which is symbol GOLD. So that is also another alternative, GOLD. It's a relatively inexpensive stock, less expensive, of course, than Tesla. Now, here's the good thing about Barrick as opposed to KL. It is very near a pivot point. The pivot point on Barrick is 28.38. So it's basically it's in a buy range right now. Barrick Gold is in a buy range. So if you're interested in the gold business, this is the one. that you might want to do. It's Barrick Gold at symbol GOLD, but I don't necessarily recommend it. I think there's better places to put your money. I think you can make much more money in the tech stocks like Tesla and other ones like that. So we will see. We will see. I've been very wrong on this before, but if you're interested in the gold play currently, as of today, and it's as of today, Barrick Gold is in a buy zone. And the buy zone basically is, it's basically at 2850. So I'm going to put that on the comment section. I'm going to put gold, GOLD, pivot equals 28. Do that one. Yeah, 2850. There we go. 2850, and it's currently trading higher than that, so it's currently in a buy zone. 25 currently trading at 30.13 in buy zone. All right, so I'll put that out there to the chat. There we go. Going out to all the chats, the chatwicks. So that's where it is. And gold is not gold, it's Barrick Gold. Their symbol is gold, GOLD. All right, thoughts on NET, N-E-T. So you look at NET real quick. Cloudflare. Yeah, Cloudflare's interesting. It's really extended. Showing good strength. It's a pretty new issue. This is an IPO. It's definitely okay. The way IPOs typically trade is that this is very indicative of how IPO trades. It comes out, it moves down as the initial people that are in it sell it off, and then it starts buying up. So this just this has definitely following. You can see that this is following here. Funds are 49%. You know what? I would wait for a base on this one, but this is definitely a watch list stock. No question about it. This is a strong IPO. I just want to wait until there's a base format. They had their first earnings. Let's see what happened. Okay. They made a loss, but that's not unusual for an IPO. The last pivot on this one, and it's really tough to tell with these because there's so little history on this, only 3 months. So yeah, the pivot on this one was 2208. Yeah, 2208. We're very much extended from the pivot on this one. But this is a watch list, definitely. Cloudflare is a watch list. I wouldn't buy this one right now. Wait until it bases. Wait until there's a pivot, and the second pivot. Once there's a second pivot, then it's possibly to go into. But right now, watch list. And by the way, if you want to see watch list, what the watch list is all about, I'll show you on my little sheets as well. So, so this is available to everyone, by the way, if they want to see this on their sample portfolio. I put things that are on the watch list, and I'm going to show you kind of how I do it, so you can see kind of what I'm talking about here for the watch list. All right. So as you can see, sometimes we have, for instance, Dollar General is on the watch list, and currently it's in a calculated buy zone. Okay, I don't buy them until they're in the buy zone. If they're less than the buy zone, I get ready on the watch list, but I don't buy them. I only buy them when they're in their buy zone. The buy zone is a bona fide pivot point plus 5%. So that's where you want to buy them, and that shows you here. By the way, you can see this if you're interested, and it's super easy. All you have to do is go to DallasTradingFloor.com, and on the homepage, on the lower right hand corner, there's a little thing where you can sign up to get a link to see the model portfolio that I'm putting out. By the way, I had to sell my PSF Web stock because it just wasn't performing well enough, so I sold it, and that's right here. I'll show you that's right here. So I had to move it into the ones that were performing better. And of course, I bought Tesla and I bought Microsoft because right now the low-cost stocks just aren't making it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Right now they're not. So what I did is I went for fewer shares of the better stock. So that's not normally what I do all the time with the low cost portfolio. But right now, I think it's really important to make the profit rather than be totally orthodox in the way I'm choosing stocks for that. So, anyways, that's how it kind of rolls out. All right, so opinion on good fun. Opinions on good funds. Okay, if you want a fund, if you want like an ETF or something like that, I can definitely show you an ETF. One I kind of like is the FFTY, and what that does is that covers the that covers the that covers the IBD 50, and I think it's had some pretty good performance, and it's fairly inexpensive. It's up today. Let me show you. It's up 1.6% today. Pretty good for a fund. And this is the FFTY. This is the one I kind of recommend if you want a fund and you kind of want to set and forget kind of thing. As you can see, nice movement basically from May of this year. It's been moving right up. It's not a lot, but it just keeps moving up that 40-day moving average. So what this fund is very interesting, the way this one works. It's basically the IBD 50, and it's a fund of the IBD 50, and the symbol on that one is FFTY. So let's see if I have another comment here. All right, thoughts on Hyatt. Oh, goodness gracious. I wouldn't probably be in the hotels, but I will see if I can give you something on Hyatt. I like staying at Hyatt. I don't think I'm a buyer of Hyatt, though. Sorry. It's not an area that I'm interested in, but it is up today a little bit. Well, let's see. Oh, no, it's down. Sorry. Kind of figured. Yeah, well, it's sort of obvious. This is okay. So let me show you the chart on Hyatt, and this is why you shouldn't buy Hyatt. Okay, so let's look at it. All right. If you notice, we are in a chart that is going from the upper left-hand corner to the lower right-hand corner. That is a declining chart. We do not want to be in a declining chart. Now, it did rally here a little bit, and it moved above the 40-day moving average, but guess what happened? The minute it did that, the algorithm said no, and they sold it, and boom, look, we have good volume on selling. This is a bad stock. You don't want to own it. It's down 2.5% today, and it probably will go lower. And by the way, if you're interested in another bad stock in the similar area, that is Marriott. I think it's M. Is it M? No, it's Macy's. That's another bad stock. So let's look at Marriott to compare it against Marriott. 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 Yeah, there we go. Okay. Marriott International. Let's see if we can get Marriott. I think their VIC is probably better, which is their time sharing, but it's still pretty awful. This is only down 29 cents. So this is by far the best of all of the worst, and the worst being the hotel group. You just don't want to be in this group. Not a good look there. So no to Hyatt and no to Marriott. Simon Property Group. Whoa, these are some of the most awful ones. If you don't own these things, don't buy them. Simon, let me tell you the problem that Simon has. Simon is a terrifically well-managed company. And before General Growth, I think now it's the largest owner of malls in the country. Malls are going the way of the dodo bird, man. It's just not the thing to have. SIMON. Simon Properties just is not where you want to be. It's General Growth Properties, which was a competitor to Simon. It went out of business. So it is up a little bit. Is it up? Yeah. It's up. It's not up at all. It's not up at all. No. Simon Properties, sorry. This is just bad. Look, it's below the 40-day moving average. I'm sorry. You don't want to own this one. If listen, I'll tell you what. If you want to buy this, give me the money, and then I'll invest it in something good, and then I will sell you back the Simon shares, okay? Yeah, you don't want to invest in this one. Sorry, it's just terrible. It's just terrible. It's not the thing to be in right now. There may be a time for it in the future, but it's not now. OKTA. OKTA. Let me see. I don't know OKTA. Let me look at OKTA real quick. OKTA. Let's see. All right. There used to be a company years ago called Okidata. I really like their printers. I think they're still around. I don't know what they're. Yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. Secure Connections. Wow, I like the business, but they're below their 40-day moving average. I wouldn't buy this one, but this might be watch listable. This looks like it is just turned to the lower. This looks like it is just turned down. It's below the 40-day moving average. I don't like that, but I do kind of like the area that it's in. It looks like it's just broken. It just looks like this pattern has just broken down. And there's a sell here. I don't know. Watch list this one. Don't buy it. It's not trending properly, but it's a good. It looks like it has a good chart, but it's trending. It is trending bad. What do will you explain what exercising options means? Well, if you, let's say for instance, I have a stock. I have 100 shares of Tesla. I can sell the option to buy that from me for a price, which is in the general market. Now, when I sell that option, I give the right to somebody to buy that stock back from me at the set price up to at the strike price. Now, if that person wants to buy, and let's say my Tesla shares go above the strike price. Well, if it goes above the strike price at the expiration, at or before the expiration date, I'm going to be exercised, meaning that they're going to take that option and they're going to buy the stocks from me at the price, at the strike price. So that's what exercising an option means. And I can go into it more detail, but it's pretty simple. You're basically selling the right to buy it from you at a set price. The set price being the strike price. Well, thank you very, very much. It's been an hour. If you want to get on the Action Trade Alerts list, super duper easy to do. All you have to do is go to DallasTradingFloor.com, put your name in, and you will be on the list, and you'll be receiving it. It's all free. And by the way, if you're looking at me on TikTok, I broadcast all of the things on YouTube, and all the charts are there. And typically, it takes about 30 minutes to maybe an hour for it to go and be archived on YouTube. But this show is youtube.com/DallasTradingFloor, and it's number 111. So that's the number. And if you want to get on the Action Trade Alerts and you're on TikTok, super duper easy. Just go to my profile, hit the link button, and you'll be taken directly to the sign up page. So thanks all. I'm going to be back tomorrow at 2 with some more stocks, and till then, happy